Welcome to the Spirit of Life channel. This message begin right now. Earth Keepers and Ocean Keepers, creating the Paradise Earth. Dearest light workers, now that the Earth is completing her own process of ascension and restructuring, it is time to begin the process of creating the Paradise Earth. For paradise is not only for those fortunate enough to live on a tropical island, but for every human on planet Earth. In the next cycle, there will be much to do to achieve this goal. This is the seed time, and as you plant the seeds you know they will grow and flourish in the light. As light workers, many of you will find yourselves being offered new opportunities to grow and express your inner light and essence. There will be new missions offered to those of you who are ready to embrace new challenges. 4. As you enter into the higher vibrations of the 9th dimension, you may be called to become an Earth Keeper or an Ocean Keeper. As the incoming energy of the Divine Feminine activates your pineal gland, it will also fire deep memories in your DNA and Akashic soul records of lifetimes spent in Lemuria and Atlantis and other times and places, when you as humans were closely connected to the sacred earth, and knew how to communicate with and listen to the earth and the oceans. These abilities and gifts will be remembered by many of you as you move closer to an understanding of your new way of life in the ascended or new earth. Understand, dearest light workers, that many of you will continue to pursue your soul development as healers, spiritual teachers, and therapists. You will assist humanity to understand the new way of living in the light in the 5th dimension. This is important work, and will bring you much joy as you increasingly become more creative and relaxed in your work. But some of you will feel within yourselves a calling to serve the planet in new ways. These will be the Earth Keepers and the Ocean Keepers. They will be light workers called by Spirit to learn to be the caretakers of the planet. Many of you have seen, with shock, how the dolphins and whales are leaving your oceans. And you are sad. Indeed, it is a sad thing in many ways. But they are handing over to you the responsibility for tending the oceans and ensuring that the oceanic grids are kept in a healthy condition in the new Earth. They have made a space for you to assume your responsibilities. Does that mean that they will never return? No, indeed, it is up to you to invite them to return to the oceans as your guests and fellow workers. But, it is also up to you to ensure that you can offer them a pristine environment and a friendly and supportive welcome. Yes, this sounds difficult, but it can be achieved if sufficient light workers begin to take responsibility for this work. In the past you have been disempowered by the belief that you cannot do anything to halt the degradation of the planet, but we say, indeed you can. As you join forces with the nature spirits and elementals, you will find that you do indeed have the power to recreate a pristine paradise environment on this planet. Well, we will say that those of you who feel called to serve in this way will need to be trained, and many of you will enter into working relationships with the indigenous shamans of the planet. It is indeed time for light workers and the indigenous wise ones to begin to share their wisdom. For each of you has deep wisdom that needs to be acknowledged. And in this partnership, light workers will learn to work with the earth and its oceans, and the indigenous ones will once again discover their power and self-worth as keepers of the planet's integrity. So, dearest ones, it is time to celebrate this new development. You are ready to become the stewards and guardians of your earth. And while each and every human on the planet contributes to this task, there will be those of you who will be called by the spirits of earth and ocean to be of special service. These ones will learn to listen to the earth and the ocean, to speak with them, and to convey their messages to humanity. This will be the first step in creating harmony between the planet and her peoples once again. This will eliminate natural disasters, for people will know when the earth needs to move or release pressure, for the Earth Keepers will be there to receive messages, as in the past when humans had better relations with the earth itself. Those who are called to be Earth Keepers will be drawn to the earth and nature. They will communicate with the elementals and the devas. They will work to maintain the integrity of the crystalline earth grids, and they will work with the animals and the plants and the mineral kingdoms to maintain peace and balance. They will take responsibility for their particular environment, as directed by Spirit and the angels. Many will begin paradise communities that will be seed energies for the creation of the paradise earth. They will reconnect with the sacred earth. Those who are called to be ocean keepers will work with the more feminine energies of the oceans. They will be called to be responsible for the integrity of the oceanic grids. They will work with the ocean spirits, the mer people, the sea nymphs, and the creatures of the oceans, especially the cetaceans, to ensure harmony and balance between Earth and the oceans in the paradise Earth. It will be a partnership that will include humans as CO responsible for the well-being of the planet on the spiritual as well as the material levels. Is this not a wonderful way to serve the Earth? Many of the young indigo beings who are now entering adult life will be called to serve in this way. They will release their frustrations and angers and will become the rainbow warriors that they were meant to be. It will bring them much joy to learn the wisdom of the wilderness from the wise elders of the human race. But we cannot emphasize enough, dearest light workers, that those who accept these missions must be trained and must develop their skills. Working with the power of the elementals and the nature spirits is not for the uninitiated and the foolish. As you are drawn to this path, so Spirit will call the teachers that you will need to give you the skills and abilities that are required for this work. And so, we ask you to listen, to hear whether you might be called to this new work at this time. You will hear it very clearly if it is to be so.